Despite the rain, this is what you might expect to find described in the syrupy superlatives of a newspaper property supplement as a bijou or desirable property for sale in an unspoilt rural setting. Not a house, not a shop, but the whole village, or at least the land on which it stands. The villagers of Killenaule were shocked to recently receive bills from the Bank of Ireland Trustees Department, bills ranging from £100 to £3,000 for the land on which their houses and shops stand. The village is on the old Waldron estate, bought by a Major Waldron in 1840, and since then his descendants have been collecting the ground rents of the village. But now the Waldron estate has decided that it wants out, and it's put the rents up for sale to the villagers themselves, presumably because those tiny annual rents brought in more trouble than profit.
The people were very angry. They were very angry over the money that was asked for those houses, especially the shopkeepers.
The villagers dug in and refused to pay, even if it were to mean eviction, they said. Killenaule auctioneer Noel McCormack.
Well, when we got the demands, we were absolutely frustrated and vexed because we thought it was most unreasonable on behalf of the trustees to demand those sort of rents which we consider to be exorbitant, in so much as they did not in no way seem to, they were not related to the actual ground rents of the individual properties concerned. And we could see no reason why it should be done in this way. And as a result of that, we felt frustrated and vexed at the exorbitant amount of money that was being asked to buy out our freeholds.
And what sort of a fight has been put up by the villagers during the course of this?
Well, we organised ourselves. We had a committee formed, and we decided that, of course, we accepted we had to pay to buy our freeholds, but the amount of money was in question. And what was assessed on us by the trustees, we felt was unjust, and we organised ourselves and weren't prepared to pay that amount of money.
And it led to problems for villagers trying to sell their properties. Many of the rents had been forgotten about, unpaid for years, so nobody was quite sure exactly who owned the ground under many of the villagers' businesses and homes. And as a consequence, nobody would risk buying them.
It was extremely difficult to get any sale through. If you did get a sale through, it was at a much lower price than you would normally expect if one had the freehold title to it. And a lot of sales, in actual fact, where we had contract signed, the sales fell through because the purchaser solicitor would not accept the title deeds to the property. In other words, there was no title at all to what we were selling. And so you just gambled it if you wanted, and the vendor had to take a lesser price than the real value of the property.
This is because the person who would own the building couldn't demonstrate that he owned the land on which the building stood.
This is the point, yes.
But now the problem has been resolved.
The people made an offer to Major Waldron or to the banks, and the banks have accepted it. So, well, we're pleased with it. We're pleased with it.
Has justice been done?
Yes, I think so. I think justice has been done.
The villagers at last, the natives and the nationalist people in Killenaule who are there all the time, who have lived for generations, who have worked those houses, who have developed their properties, at last they can now buy their freeholds and say, if I ever want to sell it, it's mine, my freehold title, Killenaule is free at last.